Welcome to the first tutorial for Prefab Layer Painter. In this tutorial, we're going to create our first layer and paint on that first layer. To start with, let's open the tutorial scene. You'll find it in the Prefab Layer Painter Examples/Scenes folder under Empty Island. This will have an island with some pre-generated textures. The texture painting was also done by Prefab Layer Painter, and you'll learn how to do that in a later tutorial. Alright, so let's create our first layer. First, we need to add the Prefab Layer Painter object to the scene. Right-click in the hierarchy, go down the menu to Prefab Layer Painter, click Add Prefab Layer Painter, and press Enter. That will confirm the name of the game object. Now, in the inspector for Prefab Layer Painter, you will find a Target Terrain field. Drag our terrain from the scene into that field, and that will bring up all the Prefab Layer Painter properties for that terrain. We want to add a layer, so click Add Layer. This brings up a window that will allow us to create a new layer. The first thing you need for a layer is a layer rule set. We can use an existing layer rule set or create a new one. There are also a couple of options associated with subtraction, but we're not going to use those right now. Click Create New Layer Rule Set. The first time you use this, it will bring up a warning message about choosing a folder for your masks. You'll only have to do this once each time you create a new Prefab Layer Painter game object in your scene. Let's choose that directory. You can create a directory or use an existing one. I've already got one here called Masks. Now it's going to ask us to create a layer rule set. I'm going to create a layer rule set called Tutorial Trees. I've already got it here, so I'm just going to use that one and overwrite it. Once you've saved a location for the rule set, it will automatically open that new rule set in the rule set window. From there, click Add Module. We want a terrain tree scatter module because we're going to paint some trees, and it's more efficient to use terrain trees because they use the terrain optimization system. You wouldn't want to use this for interactable objects. This is primarily for scene vegetation. Click the Terrain Tree Scatter module. Okay, now we've got our module created. Let's add some prefabs to this module. In your project window, under Examples/Tropical Island Assets/Prefabs/Vegetation, you will find 5 game objects with the prefix palm tree. Select all of the palm tree prefabs and drag them into the green Drop Prefabs Here box. This will add the prefabs to the module. Once they've been added to the module, close the rule set window. Now make sure you have the Prefab Layer Painter game object selected in your hierarchy. You'll notice that you now have a white circle on your terrain. This is your brush. You can hold down the Control key and use the scroll wheel to increase or decrease the size of the brush. You can hold down Shift and use the scroll wheel to control the size of the brush fall off. To paint our first layer, make sure it is selected, and then drag the brush over the terrain while holding down the left mouse button. The purple is just a preview of where the mask is in the scene. If you move away from it, it will disappear. It's not permanent. In the visualization settings, you can turn off Show Overlay, and the mask overlay will no longer appear. I'm going to turn it back on again. Congratulations! You successfully painted your first layer. Sure, it doesn't look fantastic, but we're going to learn how to improve it in the next tutorial.